heart problems, chest problems, there's been a liver deficiency. The list goes on and on and on and on. And I felt so guilty. The guilt, and I still feel the guilt now.
Every day, Pam Domain takes a drug which probably keeps her alive, but it's also caused her untold heartache. She took sodium valproate, or Epilim, an anti-epilepsy medication, throughout her 7 pregnancies. All 7 children had health problems, including Josh, who has a learning disability and will never be able to leave home. What, if anything, were you told about the dangers of your medication when you were pregnant with your 6 children?
None. I questioned it. I even asked, is it a possibility the medication can hurt the unborn baby? No. And even when the children were getting older and they started having learning disabilities, physical disabilities, we questioned it again, and the answer was no.
2 of Pam's daughters died in childhood due, she says, to problems brought on by the drug, while Josh is having to get used to a life where he won't be able to do things many take for granted.
Marriage, having your own house, doing what everyday people do, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was taken away from you, wasn't it?
Still, you seem very positive.
Of course he is. He's got mummy, haven't you?
Yeah.
And your dad, you've got mum, dad, haven't you? And we're very close as a family.
A pregnancy prevention programme is now in place for women of childbearing age taking sodium valproate, requiring healthcare professionals to meet with patients annually and to ensure they're on effective contraception. But it's thought unborn babies are still being exposed to valproate. Janet and Emma, who are leading calls for compensation, say 20,000 children have been affected, a figure that's rising.
We had one example of a lady, she got caught pregnant and the doctor just turned round to her and said to just have an abortion. That is truly horrific and scandalous.
The Welsh Government says the regulation of medicines is a matter for Westminster. The UK Government says it's seeking views regarding a redress scheme. Pam says compensation is a priority as her family plans for times ahead.
That money would secure Joshua's future. I mean, there are children that are more disabled than Joshua as well, much more disabled. And it's crucial, that money is crucial to the children.
It's been described as a medical scandal on a par with thalidomide. But so far, families like the Domains haven't received a penny of compensation. There's renewed hope that could change. Richard Morgan, ITV News in Abergavenny.
Richard, a really shocking story there. How much closer are the families, like Pamela's, to getting that compensation?
Well, John, they've tried suing the pharmaceutical companies, they've tried suing doctors. This really is the last resort. 2 years ago, a report was published, and one of the recommendations in that report was that there should be a government-funded compensation scheme. So far, that's been resisted. But in December, the UK Government Health Minister Maria Caulfield said she was willing to look at the idea and has asked the Patient Safety Commissioner to investigate. It is a scandal. The charity that you just heard from there said they have evidence that these side effects have been known about since 1973, but protections have only been put in place since 2018, and it's known, as I say, that pregnant women are still taking sodium valproate today, ignorant of the risks involved. So there are 2 priorities here, really. One is raising awareness of the risks for those who don't know about them, and number 2, getting that all-important compensation.
OK, Richard, thank you very much indeed for that.